Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's City Council meeting, December 16th, 2019. And we'll call this meeting to order. And welcome to everybody here tonight. A pretty full house. In fact, I could barely find a parking spot, so thanks for taking up all the parking spots.
Yeah. And our one handicap spot.
We have our first order of business tonight is our invocation and then our Pledge of Allegiance. So I think Pastor Eldon's here, so if you wouldn't mind, Pastor, and then please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, assembled guests, I am Pastor Paul Elgin from First Presbyterian Church. Would you pray with me, please? Dear God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, whose birthday is rapidly approaching, I ask for protection for those who may not have a roof on these cold nights, for comfort for somebody without a family at this time of year, or someone who is experiencing loss or grief for any reason. Give us the hearts and the eyes to see those who might need to experience your love. Maybe we are seeing them for a reason. Keep the employees of Casa Grande safe and comforted this holiday season, first responders and all others. Bless our city as our nation watches unbelievable division and conflict in our nation's capital. Keep us united in doing what is best for our town, and give all of our leaders wisdom, truth, and courage. Christmas is your reminder that we are not alone. You revealed in the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus a reconciling love that rescues us from separation and loneliness. We are not alone. You have come down from heaven to tell us you love us. Help us love one another. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
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 It's your job.
That's right, it's my job. Sorry, it's my first meeting. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I was waiting for Donna.
Moment of silence.
Thank you, Pastor.
You guys are all like...
That's too good.
Thank you, Lisa.
That's a good one.
To get used to that now.
All right, Gloria, let the roll call show that everyone is present.
Mayor McFarland, as far as our minutes tonight, I move approval of the City Council regular meeting minutes from December 2nd, and that we accept for the record the Arts and Humanities Commission minutes from November 5th, as both of them are presented.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. We'll move to item D, claims against the city.
Mayor McFarland, I move to accept and pay the claims dated November 27th and December 10th, 2019 as presented.
Second?
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the claims of November 27 through December 10. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the claims are approved. Meeting agenda approval. Does staff have any changes? Mr. Raines?
We have none, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, anyone on the council? All right, I do have one change. We're going, since we do have an executive session tonight, I'm going to move the reports up to follow L1. Any other changes?
No.
Seeing none, I'll take a motion to approve.
Mayor McFarland, I move that we approve the agenda as corrected.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the agenda as changed. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the agenda is approved. Special presentations, we have several tonight. The first item on the agenda is our swearing in of our new firefighters. So Gloria, I'm going to leave that up to you, unless you need our assistance. All right. A special uniform for him.
Yeah. Shiny shoes.
Please raise your right hand. I
I, Jonathan Shaw,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the laws of the state of Arizona,
and the laws of the state of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and defend them against all enemies,
and defend them against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties
of firefighter
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Now the work begins.
Yeah.
Chief Scott, that's your job, right? Okay. All right, I think the next item we have on here also is another presentation. This is for the Ride for the Warrior. Is Randy here or some representatives? Randy, there you are. And crew. Do you need some help up there, or you got it all under control?
I need your help.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor McFarland, Council, and City staff. My name is Randy Davis, President of Ride for the Warrior. I'd like to take a moment and introduce some of our members here with us tonight. I have Vice President Paul Berger, U.S. Marine veteran, former Vice President David Hood, Army veteran, and U.S. Navy veteran Frank Brown, who's also our former City Finance Director here. So we're glad to have these guys with us tonight. We are here tonight to give away some monies from our 8th annual fundraising efforts for Ride for the Warrior. We do this through our golf tournaments and raffles and music festival. I think most of you attended this year. And first, I'd like to thank the community of Casa Grande and the communities of our surrounding areas. Without their support through sponsorships, participation, and volunteering, most importantly, this could not happen. So we want to thank all of them. So first off, we have Pinal County Veterans Memorial Foundation. We'd like to invite up to receive their check. President Robert Miller and member Donna Statham. We have a check for you for $6,000 for your
There you go. Appreciate it.
Kim is nicer than me, so she'll play.
At least we know what time of year it was.
Yeah.
This real true. Well, they won't deposit that one. Just don't double deposit, right? Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no, that's her. Oh.
Does everybody want to pass the hat? We are working on our final numbers, but we believe that we are about a third to a quarter of the way there right now in total funds and cash ready to go. And so we're excited about finalizing our plans. We did submit to the city for at-risk grading permit, so you guys should see some dirt moving on the site here soon, which we're really excited about, and just finishing up the engineering, and all that.
Contributions, right?
Still need contributions. So always you can go to our website, tcbmf.org, click the donate button.
We've been a proud supporter over the last 7+ years, 8 years now, of both of these entities, and we couldn't have chosen two better ones this year with the groundbreaking of the memorial. I would like everybody to know that Ride for the Warrior was invited to do part of the groundbreaking, and we took our shovel and donated to the McCarville family, because most of you may know that the McCarville family, Tom McCarville, was one of the originators of the memorial. So we were honored to dedicate that to the McCarville family in honor of Tom. So wanted you to know that. Secondly, we have the honoring, hiring, and helping our heroes of Pinal County, HOHP. What a great organizations these folks have brought to our community and to our county. And we have a check for them tonight for $10,000.
You're gonna miss me.
Kim's gonna cry.
That's what we just said.
Yeah, we looked at each other and we both said she's gonna cry.
I know.
Kim's gonna cry.
She might take your $5 back.
John's become the official photographer.
If any of you haven't had a chance to visit the Veterans Center on Florence Street, where HOHP headquarters is located, please do so. They are a tremendous organization that helps veterans causes throughout our county. They've also broke ground and had a flag raising ceremony this last month out at the new transition center off of McCartney Road, and they're doing great things. So
Yep.
we look forward to contributing to these causes in the near future, and we thank you again for your support for the city, from the city, and we look forward to raising more money for the next year. So thank you again. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Randy.
Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas,
I think
Ken.
the next thing is, we're going to do the awards for the electric light.
You've been on vacation too long.
All right, thank you, Mayor and Council. It's my pleasure tonight to give out the awards for the 25th Annual Electric Light Parade. I do want to take just a moment to publicly thank a few people. First, thank you to our community services staff led by our recreation coordinator for special events, Mindy Pieper. Mindy was the main point of contact for the city for all the different departments and organized all the activities for the event. Secondly, thank all the city departments and of course the city council for the support. We could not do this event without the support and coordination of many people. That coordination takes place weeks and months before the event, and also the day of the event, of course. And then finally, all the volunteers. It literally takes hundreds of volunteers to put on an event of this size. And of course, the citizens of Casa Grande come out in full force for it, with over 20,000 spectators. So really like to thank everybody for just a wonderful parade this year. We have several awards to give out, and so we'll start with the biggest and brightest. And the biggest and brightest, third place, was float number 72, Lowe's. Second place, float number 14, Cardinal Glass.
All right.
And first place in the category biggest and brightest is float number 66, the Pate family.
All right.
Are they here?
All right. Good on my desk.
John did weapons this year.
For those that aren't here tonight, our staff will be delivering these awards in the next week or so. The next category is Best Public Safety. Third place in Best Public Safety is float number 94, Coolidge Fire Department. Second place is float number 96, the Casa Grande Fire Department.
Mayor likes the selfies.
No shame, Mayor.
And first place in the category of Best Public Safety is float number 95, Arizona City Fire Department.
All right. Oh.
That's bad. Oh, shoot.
Send me a picture.
Next category is Most Festive. Third place would be float number 29, Desert Sky Mustang Club.
Woo! Woo!
They are so cool. So cool. The reindeer thing. It was.
I sort of have to take a picture. That's what we're all doing. My wife is in the Mustang Club, so I kind of
Microphone's live.
take care of this.
And it's your fault that one
Oh, she's not here.
Second place in Most Festive is number 53, Gila River Sand and Gravel. And first place is float number 13, Dago's Wireless Commercial Hispano.
They had that.
Most Festive.
They did have that.
It was.
Very festive.
It was fun. I was singing along,
I know.
and Vicky was drinking margaritas.
Most Creative Costume, third place, number 6, Youth on Track Cycling.
Yeah. I love watching them. Yes, I did. I was jealous. I couldn't do it. There's no way I could do
know,
it.
right?
I was like, I can't hardly get on a bike, let alone
Exactly.
the ones at the community center. I can't. I'm about this close to the tricycle. What's that? I'm about this close to that tricycle.
Second with Most Creative Costumes is number 61, Casa Grande SADD.
Dad, woo!
Oh, it's cute.
I know it'd be a little different. That would be a really good idea. See, that's what I'm doing for this year.
All right.
Good job. You don't have to bend down there.
They're the experts at the selfies. Not me. When I'm doing the selfie, I'm like, wait.
We're gonna be here till midnight.
And first place in the category Most Creative Costumes is number 88, E&JC Heating and Cooling.
Oh, they will. Yeah.
Okay, next category is most original. Float number 84, Karina Arola with Long Realty Partners. Third place.
That's a good idea.
Second place, number 17, Desert Sun Heating, Cooling, and Refrigeration. And first place with most original is float number 80, Electric District number 2. The next category just has first place only. Actually, the next three categories, first place only, is the People's Choice Award, float number 81, Casa Grande Jewelry and Pawn for the second year in a row.
Woo! Oh, my husband's he's been trying to doing the G.
Good job.
Mindy, how many people voted, do you know?
Yeah, look.
Almost 4,000 people voting. Okay.
Wow.
The next award is presented by one of our sponsors. It's the APS Power to Make It Happen Award. With that, we'd like to bring Brian Gardner up from APS.
Hey, let me quick say, APS has sponsored this, our electric light parade, almost since its inception, if not from the beginning. And so just a huge thank you to them. Without their help, really, this wouldn't have grown to where it is today. One of the largest, if not the largest attended electric light parade in the state. Did I just steal all your thunder?
No, you're doing great, Mayor. Keep going.
So really, give them a huge round of applause. Richard, too, over here. Yeah, thank you guys for everything you do for the community. You are a huge community supporter, and we appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So on behalf of APS, we'll present the award for the 25th Light Parade to Eloy Fire Department for the best and brightest.
Watch yourself this time.
All right, Jeremy. Good job. There we go.
I know. It's good they don't need such high ladders. They don't need ladders.
Good job, Eli.
Congratulations.
And before we make our final award, just want to do a quick shout out to the Adventures in Stained Glass, who for the, how many years in a row?
Ever?
Many years in a row,
Forever.
helped us with the beautiful award, so thank you. Okay, the final award is the Mayor's Award, and that goes to float number 26, Vivid Landscaping. I was hoping Cousin Eddie was coming up with.
Well, on behalf of Vivid Landscaping, I'm happy to receive this award.
Get a selfie.
A selfie.
Do a selfie, Mayor.
Seriously, thank you to everybody who participated. This is a truly community event. I'm always marveled by all of the chairs that are lined up by about noon on Florence Boulevard. I know
7:30.
somebody took,
2 a.m.
I was here at 7:30 in the morning.
and they aren't there at 7:30? Well, I know somebody took a picture at noon and they were like lined up everywhere. So it always amazes me that we have such a huge community following on this event, and it really is a great kickoff for Christmas and for our holidays. So thank you, everybody, and Merry Christmas, everyone.
Empty out. I know. I always want to tease me.
Oh, everybody's leaving now.
Dinner on you, Kim.
Okay, you can all leave now.
We're just gonna spend all the money now. No big deal.
A lot of fun.
Let's see, 300, 400.
Yep. Yeah, might as well wait a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Only $500,000 tonight.
It does amaze me.
Yeah.
Grande?
I don't know. What's her name? Mindy.
She was awesome.
Hey, Mindy, just a big thank you also for all your work on the electric light parade.
Lisa,
Yes.
Robert, leave her alone.
Mayor Pro Tem, please
There you
pass
go.
it.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Margie's here, huh? I didn't see her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's
Oh,
right
there she is. She's getting recognized as for one of the chamber awards.
Yeah, I did the
Oh,
application. I
Good.
got like 5 or 6 letters and turned it in. Kara Cooper.
Yeah, for her work on the.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, she's being
She
recognized.
found
by
out
the
a few days ago. She called and left a message on my machine.
Yeah.
Bye, Robert.
Thanks, Robert. Thanks for coming tonight. All right. Okay, now that everyone has left, we do appreciate those who stayed, though. So I just want you to know that. Special appreciation. Tonight, item G is an agenda, so the consent agenda items are all items listed with an asterisk and are considered routine matters and will be enacted by one motion, one roll call vote of the council. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or member of the public so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda item and considered in its normal sequence of the agenda. Does anyone have anything you want to pull off the consent agenda item or to put on the regular agenda? Yes, Ms. G1. Okay,
G10.
and G10. Okay. Anyone else? All right, seeing none, then I'll entertain a motion to approve those with the exception of G1 and G10.
So move.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Gloria, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Huddleston.
Yes?
Councilmember McBride.
Yes.
Councilmember Herman.
Yes.
Councilmember Cortson.
Yes.
Councilmember Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Fitzgibbons.
Yes.
Mayor McFarland.
Yes. All right. Seeing we have 2 pulled off, they would actually be the next item on the agenda, so we'll go to item G1. And I believe that was pulled off by Marge Jantz. Is this what you wanted to talk about? Or are you gonna, okay. Go ahead.
I needed to talk about it.
Okay.
You are about ready to give the A-OK for the Cougar Stadium sign to be a local landmark. And I just wanted to draw to everyone's attention that these local sign landmark designations, this is really a huge big deal for Casa Grande. Actually, we're kind of pioneers in the state of Arizona, and the state sign enthusiasts, of which many are my friends, they are all applauding us for what we're doing down here. And as you recall, the very first sign that we designated as a sign landmark was in April of 16, and that was the Dairy Queen sign downtown, and we saved that sign by that designation. So we have 32 signs in Casa Grande that are eligible as local sign landmarks, and tonight is the first in that series. We've got 3 more coming next month, and behind that, the rest of them. Hopefully, as long as all of the property owners agree with that. So also the Arizona Sign Association inducts, they have a Hall of Fame, and they induct all these different sign makers. And I've just had an opportunity to share with them that we have several in our community that have been made by those sign makers that are being inducted into the Hall of Fame. So I just wanted to say, all is good. And thank you.
Thank you, Marge. What about all the signs in the neon sign park? They're not eligible because they're not an original location?
Exactly.
Okay.
But they are certainly in our inventory, and everybody's well aware of them.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll entertain a motion then to approve item G1.
So move. Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve item G1. Can I get a roll call vote, please, Gloria?
Excuse me 1 second. Do I need to put the title because it was pulled? Okay. Yes, I'll need to read the title first since it was pulled from
Okay.
the consent agenda.
Okay, then I need to request an ordinance number, please.
Yes, please.
Even though it was second reading, so.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Ordinance number 3173, an ordinance of the Council of the City of Casa Grande, Arizona, designating the Cougar Stadium sign as a local historical landmark and authorizing the clerk to record all documents necessary to effectuate the ordinance with Pinal County Recorder's Office.
You need a motion?
Yes, please.
I move for the adoption of ordinance number 3173 as presented. Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded, and now may I get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Huddleston.
Yes.
Councilmember McBride.
Yes.
Councilmember Herman.
Yes.
Councilmember Quartson.
I just want to make one point on why this is so important, because many communities and cities and I know Mesa had that happen to them with a building. If we don't have these designations, these items are inadvertently or stupidly destroyed. And Mesa had a building, an awesome building, that someone just didn't know the significance. So by taking them in, you're also helping to preserve them so that somebody else doesn't come in and just tear them down. So, yes.
Councilmember Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Fitzgibbons.
Yes.
Mayor McFarland.
Yes. Okay, next item on the agenda is G10. Mr. Powell, I think you pulled that one.
Well, I did pull it, and I pulled it clear out of my book here. I took that address. The concerns I had, if somebody can address them, I'd appreciate it. Was this sounds like they're playing bingo 3 or 4 nights or days a week. And from the address, I think they're in a very, there's not a lot of openness in their neighborhood, and I wonder what that will do for people trying to come and visit and taking parking. If you get, 15 or 20 people and one of them, there's not the parking available for it from what I saw, but those are my concerns. And if somebody knows better, please fill me in. It goes to a good purpose. They make donations, but as they say, that's what I was thinking. If they wake up and there's a number of cars and they come every day for 4 days a week.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor and Mr. Powell, members of the City Council, the City of Casa Grande is, we accept their applications. We did have the request in the City Clerk's Department. They have listed, Councilmember Powell is correct, they have listed several days. They've listed Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday that they will be holding bingo. Historically, we have not gone out to the site to review. It is open for public comments. If there are any public comments, we've received no public comments on this application.
Is there any way to table one of these?
Yes, there is, the council. I know that they did have a concern, and I don't know if there's anybody here today. I know that they did have a concern about having it approved by the first of the year, because they were planning some bingos by the first of the year. But it is up to the council if you choose to table it, and
Well, I feel uncomfortable with it just with that many days a week in a neighborhood. It's a residential neighborhood.
Has planning looked at this at all, Paul?
No, Mr. Mayor, we planning did not review it, so I can't tell you what the zoning is, if it's appropriate or not.
Is it in a neighborhood? Do we even
I'm
know?
looking it up right now.
the application was.
Yeah, it's a house.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to.
G Diamond Ranch.
Oh,
a
it
neighborhood?
is.
It's in a neighborhood.
It's in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe we should table it then.
Well, I wish
I
we could
missed the
table it
amount
at
of days,
least.
so shame on me.
Have
I-
somebody take a look at it, because
Yeah.
the neighbors would not be happy with the city council if we,
Want to make a motion? then?
Wait,
I moved to table, Mayor.
I got one question.
Yeah.
Do they have to post any sort of sign like a zoning?
we do not, the requirements do not require us to go
Okay.
post it on the property like we do for liquor license.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there is a motion on the floor to table it.
Second?
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All right, is there anyone in the audience here that can shed some light on it? Okay, well, seeing none, then I'll call for a roll call vote on this one, please. Gloria?
Okay. Councilmember Huddleston.
Yes, on tabling.
Councilmember McBride.
Yes, on tabling.
Councilmember Herman.
Yes.
Councilmember Cortson.
Yes.
Councilmember Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Fitzgibbons.
Yes.
Mayor McFarland.
Yes. Okay, so item G10 then has been tabled. Is there any particular instruction can we ask planning to take a look at it? Possible, Larry? I don't know what our,
Mr. Mayor, we'll certainly, from a staff's perspective, look at zoning and parking as part of the, staff.
yeah,
report.
specifically about its particular location, it being in a residence and that sort of thing. I'm not sure I'd like a bingo hall next to my house, so.
Can I ask too, is that, was there any kind of a posted sign notice or anything? So the neighborhood, there was.
No.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Good catch,
And,
Mr.
and
Powell.
what are,
Good one, Dick.
yeah, what are our requirements on that? Do we have to do that, or can we do that?
Mayor, we can certainly look at that in between,
Okay.
now and then, but if it's not a requirement, we generally wouldn't do that. But we'll certainly communicate with everybody, and now that the matter's been tabled, staff will certainly take a look at it prior to it being placed on a council meeting agenda again.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Go ahead.
What's public comments? Why don't you just open it? to public?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna do public comments. You wanna just, in fact, I'm gonna open public comments. And, you've been recognized. Please state your name and 3 minutes to comment.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jerry.
Go ahead, Jerry. You're up.
Rancho Grande area, and there was a retention area put out there several years ago, and it has become almost one of the most popular parks in town. And there's balls practice out there every day, and there's a speed limit of 35 miles an hour or so, and it's never adhered to on Colorado. It goes north from Treco, and or from Rodeo Road, and then also they come out there. They come out there in cars, and they park here and there. And I got a notice from the post office that they're not going to deliver any mail if I don't keep people from parking in front of my mailbox. And so that's the problem that might develop. I don't know this neighborhood you're talking about, so I don't really know, but that's the problem that developed out in my area. So thank you.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you, Mr. Odom. Marge, I still have your comment card. You're commented out? Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. The floor is open, so if there's anyone who would like to make a comment, this is our public comments part of the meeting. Go ahead.
But
I have to do with two things. First of all, this is sort of a little story I have, Matt. Looks like you've been somewhere out of states or someplace. The reason I've mentioned that, I know I have a friend who's a preacher up in Show Low, and he goes to, during the winter part of the year, every year he goes to Hawaii to hold a meeting. And last time I was up there, which was a couple of weeks ago, he said he asked the congregation there to pray for him, because he's on a ship trip to Hawaii. And so as I was walking out behind a woman as we left out the building, she says to him as she shook his hand, said, "You're going to Hawaii and ask us to pray for you?" So anyway, that's one thing. And the other thing is, I'd just like to make a comment about what is wrong with paving on Peart and Peart and
Ortson.
No, Treacle Road.
Oh.
Because it was needing to be paved, that's for sure. But now it's a rubber board now. As you go down, it just click, 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 click. And is that something that can be fixed, or is that just what caused the time of year is paved, or what caused that to be that way? Both those streets are that way, and they're long stretches too. So anyway, that's. I don't think it doesn't sound like you have an answer, but you will.
We'll ask staff to get back with you. We'll ask staff to get back with you. Thank you. Anyone else? Any other comments from the public?
Gary?
Okay, seeing none, then I'm going to close the floor and we'll move on with the agenda. Next item on the agenda is I-1, ordinance number 3178. Kevin?
Thank you. Staff recommends that the mayor and city council award several contracts for pavement preservation to perform pavement preservation to services. Like the gentleman just mentioned, these are some of the things that we use it for. Staff did advertise this. We went out to bid and we actually had 6 proposals that were submitted. And the intent of these proposals is to issue contracts to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder for 5 pavement preservation categories: asphalt chip seal, microsurfacing, slurry seal coat, fog seal, and crack sealing. So based on our review of the proposals, staff is recommending that we award a contract to Cactus Asphalt for the asphalt chip seal category, Southwest Slurry Seal for the microsurfacing and the slurry seal coat, Ace Asphalt for the fog seal coat category, and Regional Pavement Maintenance for the crack sealing. Of course, every year we have our pavement maintenance program, and the primary purpose of this contract is to perform each of those types of surface treatments to the program that we define each year. Now, with one exception, we are asking for approval to use this on any capital improvement projects that we may determine we need to use these contracts for. And a good example of that, 2 years ago we had, or maybe 3 years ago, we had VIP Boulevard queued up for a CIP, and we were going to be doing a major reconstruct of that roadway. Instead, we moved forward with a cape seal, which is a chip seal and a slurry seal. Had we had these contracts in place, we would have been able to move forward with that project much quicker and spent those funds, and it was much lower than what we had budgeted. So we this year we've budgeted $1.8 million for our pavement maintenance program. $200,000 of that is for our city street striping, and then $100,000 of that is for crack seal materials. So the remainder of that money would be used for these types of contracts, and then any capital improvements that we're able to use these contracts for as well. And we would only not exceed any budget authority that council has already given us. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I don't have a question, I just have a comment. As I travel around the county, I know I travel into a lot of other communities, and not to name names, but our city has some of the best streets in the county, and I want to commend your department. I know we have our issues. There's always hot spots and places that pop up, and we have, some rough spots. But in general, I think our streets are by far and above any of those in the rest of the county. So thank you to your team. Please give them my thanks, because I think they really do a great job. So thank you, Kevin. Does anybody else have any questions or comments?
I have a comment.
Mr. Powell?
I think that's so imperative that we have that ability to do that. I think it's real important, just like Jerry had mentioned. If you have damage to something, you don't have to wait till a different budget or anything else. You can fix it with the help we have here. Doesn't go over the capital budget at all, so I think it's definite yes for me.
Anyone else? Okay. Seeing none, then I'll entertain a ordinance, please.
Ordinance number 3178, an ordinance of the council of the city of Casa Grande, Arizona, accepting bids from 4 vendors to perform a variety of maintenance treatments to certain city streets, authorizing expenditure of public funds, and authorizing execution of a contract with or purchase order to the various vendors.
Mayor McFarland, I move approval of ordinance number 3178 as presented.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Gloria, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Huddleston.
Yes.
Councilmember McBride.
Yes.
Councilmember Herman.
Yes.
Councilmember Cortzen.
Yes.
Councilmember Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Fitzgibbons.
Yes.
Mayor McFarland.
Yes. Jay, there's no boards and commissions, but if it's on the agenda, Larry, can I make comment on boards and commissions?
I would save it probably for reports.
Okay.
Because if it's blank on the agenda, there's nothing for us to discuss on it.
Okay. I'll save it for my reports then. Thank you. Next item is L1, please. Mr. Tice?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. This is a zone change request for Carmignac Park. It's a fairly simple request to rezone Carmignac from its existing zoning of R1 to a new zoning classification of urban ranch. So what's driving the bus on this is the cell tower that is located within the boundaries of the Carmignac along Casa Grande Avenue that the fire department wishes to tear down and construct a new one to improve their some of their communication services. The problem with the existing zoning of R1 is that cell towers are not allowed in R1. R1's kind of a standard residential zone, right? So, but the code does allow cell towers in our urban ranch zone as a conditional use. So the change then would be to rezone or Carmignac from R1 to urban ranch and have a conditional use approval granted for the new cell tower that the fire department wishes to erect. In fact, that conditional use application has gone to a planning commission along with this zone change, and planning commission recommended approval of the conditional use subject to your rezoning of the park to urban ranch. So as I mentioned, R1 zoning currently, and there's the cell tower that's being used only now by the elementary school district, and it will continue to be used by the elementary school district as a co-locate with the new tower that the fire department will be erecting at the location. The zone change is in conformance with the general plan. The site is in the neighborhoods land use category, which allows all kinds of residential zones. So urban ranch is a residential zone, and so it does conform with the neighborhoods category. It also conforms with various other policies regarding rezonings to residential. The Planning Commission did hold a public hearing. We mailed notices, we advertised in the newspaper. No comments were received. And you can see the area of notification was around 300 feet around the park itself. So we did send notices to all those property owners. Planning Commission voted on this and recommends, sent a recommendation of approval for the zone change from R1 to Urban Ranch.
I have a question.
Sure.
Is that going to be a stealth tower?
It is not.
How
It is-
come?
Well,
I'm just thinking it's in a neighbor, I mean, there's homes surrounding
It's
the
already
whole
there
area.
now.
I'm sorry?
The tower's already there.
Well, I know, I'm just asking.
Yeah,
No.
changing the style or whatever.
so I'm just going to show you back, I'm going to go back to a photo of the existing
I just
tower
kinda-
for you. I guess one more back. There it is. Okay. So the existing tower, I can't recall exactly how tall the existing one is. I think it might be 90 feet. The new one's going to be a little taller, maybe 100, 110 feet. But it won't, it will look very similar, and it'll be almost at the exact location. We've actually processed 2 applications for this cell tower, one for a variance for setbacks through the Board of Adjustment, so we did neighborhood notification then, and again for the conditional use at Planning Commission. And none of the residents on the west side of Casa Grande Avenue had any input or concern whatsoever. I thought maybe there might be, but no one expressed any concern. So, but no, it's not intended to be stealth. It's intended to be co-located with the elementary school district and then our public service antennas for their communication needs.
The curiosity, do you have an idea how much extra it does cost to do that? I mean, is it significant?
I don't. I suspect it is significant, but I don't
Okay.
know the price increase.
Anyone else have any questions?
Fire chiefs.
Chief? Sure,
No.
please.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. As you recall, we brought to you in early October a communications project, bringing 4 projects together. This was part of that project, so cost-wise, it's inclusive within what's been approved. The tower itself is 120 foot tall. If you've been to the public safety facility, that's that monopole with the antenna on the top. There'll be additional antennas. We're going to co-locate the elementary school district on that tower. The tower that you see now is going to come down. It's 90 feet. The reason we can't add to that particular tower is the manufacturer of that tower is no longer in business. Their capital assets were not acquired. Therefore, there's no one who's going to engineer it and allow us to go higher with that particular one. So that one will be removed, and a 120-foot monopole without the triangular array like this one has. It'll just have antennas along the side and at the top, making it more streamlined.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Any questions? Anyone? Mr. Powell?
Thank you, Kevin.
How does this affect the fire department? I think you're an advocate, I know.
This is both for the police and fire department. This is the public, actually, and it is Public Works as well. This is the integral part of us joining the Pinal County Public Safety 800 megahertz radio system. It will also serve as our legacy VHF receiver site downtown for both Public Works, police, and fire. So it does have dual purpose. It was designed particularly that way. But this location obviously already has a building built by Altel specifically for communications equipment. The only difference is we couldn't add to that tower, which would obviously be the first choice for us economically, but it wasn't. So we do have to add a tower and remove that particular one.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor, just if I can, just one point of additional clarification. We've talked about the co-location. This also serves as a field lighting pole. So it actually has the field lights for the Kiwanis baseball field that is located on the pole as well.
Okay.
Okay.
So it'd be there anyway?
Yes.
It's just a little taller. Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah, grew up.
Well, and I like the idea, like you said, it's more streamlined. It doesn't look quite like a drone sitting on top of the pole.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Helen.
Then the Gloria can,
Deal right
Public
here.
hearing.
The district
This
office?
time.
that's the corner of the district office, right on the corner.
This is the district office right here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just their corner. Just
wonder
the
if we-
300-foot line, that's all. All right, Gloria, I'll entertain an ordinance number, please.
Mr. Mayor, this is require
Oh,
public hearing.
I'm sorry. Okay, since this is a public hearing, then I'll open the floor for public comment. Is anyone here who would like to comment on this topic? Okay, seeing no one, then I will close the public comments. Does council have any more comments or questions?
No.
All right, then seeing none, I will call for an ordinance number, please.
Ordinance number 1178.400, an ordinance of the council of the city of Casa Grande, Arizona, amending zoning ordinance 1178 and its subsequent amendments by changing the zoning from R1 single-family residential to UR urban ranch for property located approximately at 1115 North Brown Avenue, also known as Carl McNabb Park, Casa Grande, Arizona.
Mayor McFarland, I move approval of ordinance number 1178.400 as presented.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Gloria, may I get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Huddleston.
Yes.
Councilmember McBride.
Yes.
Councilmember Herman.
Yes.
Councilmember Cortson.
Yes.
Councilmember Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Fitzgibbons.
Yes.
Mayor McFarland.
Yes. Okay. So before we move into an executive session, then we move the reports up. And so item N is next, and we'll start with you, Donna.
Gosh, we've all been to so many events in the last 2 weeks, I'm not even going to go into how many, but I did want to say that I was really pleased with the crowd of the Electric Light Parade. Thank you for letting me sit in for you, and thank you, Mr. Powell, for once again announcing downtown with me. It was a lot of fun, so wishing everybody a Merry Christmas.
My privilege.
Bob?
Yeah, I have to confess, I had to miss the Electric Light Parade this year.
No, we were just looking at Mayor. Sorry.
Sorry. Apologize.
Bob's turn, but it was for a good reason. My son got married on that night, so I was attending the wedding. And also, personal good news for me, my daughter graduated from ASU today, so
Congratulations.
a good couple of weeks.
That was a win-win there.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, you
absolutely.
can buy that Corvette, huh?
Yeah. That's all, Mayor.
Mary?
Okay, well, and I agree, I was able to attend this year, actually in a motorhome, so I was more comfortable in that, but I also issue graduation this morning. My grandson, Dylan James Cortson Hale, graduated from the W.P. Carey School of Finance, magna cum laude, is that how we say it?
All
And
right.
that in international ag business, and just proud as heck about him, even though it was ASU.
I was so proud of him.
But just add it up because it is, but you know, seeing all of those, they had people stand up that said it was the first time in their family that anybody had graduated with, and I actually sat next to a gentleman from Prescott Valley. His daughter was a first-time graduate, and it is just amazing just to seeing that pride of folks and the parents and everything. So I was very proud of that. So, and I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and we've got an exciting new year coming up. So.
All right, thank you. Mr. Herman?
Thank you. I got one thing that I do that's serious is the Olive and Orange intersection. I've been getting a lot of comments from citizens there about people going really fast. So right on Olive Drive.
Orange?
Yeah. My grandpa, yeah, 1100 North Olive is the address. My grandpa used to live there. But I have talked to people, and I ran into some more people the other day, and they stopped me. So I was wondering if we could get a speed trailer there, or look at a four-way stop, or I'm no traffic engineer, but whatever we can do. So that's the seriousness. When you have a jacket like this, you can only wear it a couple times a year, so I took tonight as an opportunity to wear this Christmas jacket.
Congratulations, you pulled it off.
Thank you. And the tie sings too. So I mean, I'm very festive tonight, and this wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and Happy Holidays to everyone. And this Saturday, I did get the opportunity to ring the bell with Salvation Army in front of Walmart, and I love doing that because seeing people in this community give, and every year you look at people, and people you know, people you don't know, and you look at, and people you kind of just by appearances would expect not to give the most, it seems, and people you even know that could probably give, maybe don't. Maybe they give in other ways, but I don't know. But it's just fun to see the generosity of our community and bring a little holiday cheer to everybody with me ringing the bell and all my shirts and stuff that I got to wear out there. So anyway, thank you all very much. Merry Christmas, and I love seeing the Electric Light Parade winners tonight. I got to drive in the parade again, so my seat was very comfortable as well, and I didn't get rained on either, so it was perfect.
Lisa?
Well, and I appreciate you doing the Salvation Army. I know they're trying to get 100% of their ringers volunteers this year. So my office has been participating for the doing it Friday at Fry's. So if you see me out there, that's what I'll be doing.
The red jacket on?
Oh, yeah, I'll make sure I wear my red jacket. Maybe I'll wear green. But yeah, no, the Electric Light Parade, this year, I was probably the most uncomfortable out of everyone that was there, but actually walked in the parade. And I want to thank APS for their sponsorship, as well as helping coordinate the census committee. So there were several of us that were walking, promoting the census. And I'll tell you, well, first of all, it was great being on the route because you really see how many people are there. And, you know, I usually go downtown and watch the parade, but this year I was really able to see the number of people that are out there. And it's just amazing, and the excitement. But I did learn, you know, the census committee for us is, you know, when I was saying, you know, Census 2020, a lot of people were saying, what's that? And what does that mean? And so I know we have our work cut out for us for the census. So I just hope all of you, if you're part of an organization, if you're part of a club, you know, just please remind people what the census is. It's a count and what it means to our community, because I was really surprised how many people didn't know. And then next year, Richie is here from APS. I think the float was probably a mile ahead of us walkers. So we tried to keep up, and I know by the time I got to Donna and Dick, they were like, "Who is that out there? Who is Ralph and Lisa?" So, and thanks to Ralph Varela, he was walking too. But it was such a great parade, and it was great seeing the winners, and they're so creative. It just gets better and better every year. So, thank you to everyone. As far as we had the Hispanic Leadership Institute is in its 14th year. We had 2 of our officers participate this year, Officer Martinez and Officer Estrada. So we had 22 graduates. We have a total of about 180 graduates now. And so I just wanted to thank the police department for having some of our young officers participate and expand their leadership roles. And then the Latino Familia Initiative awarded, as many of you know, Andy Salazar has done so much for our community, and so that he received the Tomas Pinon Service Award, and he was just so appreciative and honored and he's so well deserving. And let's see, at the beginning of the year, for those that have seniors in high school, the Cesar Chavez Memorial Committee is going to be having their event in March, but the scholarship application opens in January at the Cesar Chavez Memorial Committee website. So if you have any graduating seniors, make sure they get on and apply for the scholarships, high school seniors. And that's it. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone, and be safe, and enjoy your time with your family and friends.
Mr. Powell?
Well, Larry and Steve and I attended the Pinnell Partners, where they gave Pollock announced, and John had it pretty well pinned in his report, and Most everything looked good at that point in time. I did ask the one question at the end is, without adequate water, how does that affect the growth? And he just said, well, water runs uphill to money. And I said, Maricopa County's going to get it all. So, but I think that economics are good. I just hope we can make more progress and find a new source of water. I want to thank the dispatch. I got a really nice notice from them on my windshield this morning. And what I want you to do is honor me when it's 6-1. I'm always the one guy. But as I say, it's not having to do with the city, but it's at the rodeo grounds. I did find a pony for my 3 granddaughters for Christmas, so we'll be doing some pony riding out there and enjoying that. And just wish everybody a really Merry Christmas, and it's been such a joy to work with every one of you this year.
Well, and I'll ditto that, Mr. Powell. Thank you.
You bet.
Just a couple things. One, I've kind of talked about this in the past. We really need some help on a couple of different boards and commissions. We have a vacancy on the Board of Appeals and 2 vacancies on the Board of Adjustments. It really doesn't take a lot of your time. We've had these vacancies now for a couple of months. In fact, one of them was open back in August, and the other 2 have been open since about the middle of November. So if you know anybody, please encourage them to go online, talk to Gloria, come in, see Gloria, or talk to her staff in the city clerk's office, fill out an application. It really, they meet maybe once or twice a year on some of these, so it's not a lot of time, but we do need some good people, and we need some people to volunteer. So please check with your neighbors and your friends and family and see if you can't encourage them to participate with the city. We do appreciate it. Also, a big thank you to the Community Services Department and their efforts on the electric light parade. So Steve, please give your staff a big thank you, huge thank you. I know it's a lot of work, but it's a great event. Thank you to APS. Again, you guys do an amazing job. Richie, you guys are on top of it, and we really do appreciate all your support. Also, I want to give a shout out to Peart and Courtson, the interchange, because I'm getting several comments and emails about that interchange. We had full intentions of that interchange being completed with the project at the community center. But due to some unforeseen circumstances and some challenges with the property on the corner, we've not been able to finish that project. So it's kind of getting frustrating, I know, for a lot of people who use that interchange, especially if you're heading eastbound on Courtson trying to get to Peart, with all the poles and the different things that are in the ground there, and it's really kind of starting to look kind of ratty. But we are working on it. Even though you don't see anything happening, there is work being done behind the scene, and I just want to assure everybody that we will come to some resolution on that corner, and we will get it fixed, okay? So please be patient. Some of this stuff doesn't happen overnight, and so I want to make sure that I assure everybody that we are working on it. Also, the Leadership Academy is coming up, the Casa Grande Leadership Academy. So it starts February 13th at 6 o'clock. The first event, our first meeting will be here in the council chambers. So if you are interested in being part of that Leadership Academy, please sign up. It's a great experience. It's about 8 weeks. And it'll be every Thursday for about 8 weeks. You learn everything from Paul Tice's department to Kevin's department, Public Works, wastewater treatment plant, really City Hall. Every aspect of the city you get a chance to take a look at and see how it works. And it really is educational, helps you understand how your city works, where your taxpayer dollars go. It's a really, really great program if you haven't been through it. I've been through it. I know that probably almost everybody up here on the dais has been through this program, and it's really eye-opening. It really is. So I'd encourage you to sign up. You can go online or come in again to City Hall and see Gloria's staff. They can help you sign up if you don't have access to a computer, but you can also do it online on our website. I think that's about all I have. I mean, I had a great week off. Thank you. But it's good to be back. And all I want to say is Mele Kalikimaka. That means Merry Christmas in Hawaiian. So.
I think there's a song by that name.
No, I got one more thing to say. I did want to make one other quick comment. The memberships in the rec center, off the charts.
Yes. Mhm.
You should have one item at the bottom there as well, Mayor.
Which one is it?
Look to your left.
What does he say?
Look to my left. Oh, got it. Thank you, Larry. If it was a snake, it would have bitten me. Membership contracts so far are 1,502, and the total memberships is 3,356. I think our goal was, what was our goal, Steve?
Like 750.
750?
750. So great job again to your staff and to Aaron out there at the community center. It's been a phenomenal experience. They've been averaging 15,000 visits per month. 15,000 visits per month. That's crazy. It's crazy good. So, and some also good news on the USMCA front, which is the United States Mexico-Canada agreement that we understand will hit the floor of the House this week, which is a huge deal. Huge for Arizona, huge for the city of Casa Grande and our partners at Lucid, as well as our partners in Sonora, Mexico. So big deal, and so keep an eye out for that. Then I have one last thing that I did want to do. Can somebody take some pictures for me? Donna, I need you down front. Actually, why don't you all come down?
What for?
Come on.
All of us?
It's for BMA.
Get our Christmas card picture.
Like, what'd I do? I didn't.
I didn't do it.
He wants us all to go down?
If you all want to go home.
Let's just let him take it.
Yeah, you take it.
Yeah, we don't need to go. We're gonna let you take the picture.
We're gonna let you take the picture.
I know.
All right, if you want to stay up there, that's okay. This is in appreciation for Donna's work this last year, for her dedication and service to the city of Casa Grande as Mayor Pro Tem. And I just want to personally thank her for all of her help and filling in when I couldn't be somewhere. But she's done a phenomenal job, as does all your council. All your council works very hard. They are tireless supporters and promoters of the city of Casa Grande. And so and you all probably deserve a plaque, but you're not getting one today. So.
Only one in the budget.
Mayor, while you're coming up, if you don't mind, I'll mention what I was going to. This is really a memorable night, and I think we need to appreciate the fact that very seldom do you have the Griswold Christmas and Hawaii 5-0.
Well, I appreciate the Hawaii 5-0 reference. Griswold, I'm not so
wait a
sure.
second, wait a second. Yellowstone.
Yeah, and Yellowstone.
All right. Anybody else? Any other last comments? All right, well then, we're going to stand adjourned until, do we want to just go into executive session, then we'll take a recess? I'll take a motion to go into executive session. Okay, it's been moved and seconded to go into executive session. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're going
That's so cute, Mary. I like
to take a
that.
brief recess to clear the room.
Yeah.